Oh yeah, here we go, Thursday. As always, we've got a great one for you. I'm Coach Skip at Wildfire CrossFit and Wildfire Connect. And away we go. We're going to be doing a 6-minute AMRAP for the warm-up. So just keep going through this for a good 6 minutes. And we're going to start with 10 push-ups. Keep that back nice and flat, all the way down, all the way up. If you need to go off your knees, you can do that. We are going to be doing some other push-ups in the workout. So if it helps to start from your knees and then go up to your toes as you get warmed up, that's totally fine. Then we're going to get into 10 walking lunges. So just take that big step, stand all the way up as you pass through into that next lunge. And 5 each leg for a total of 10. Then we're going to do 20 PVC shoulder pass-throughs. So get those hands a little wider so you can keep straight arms as you're bringing it all the way behind you. And back and forth is going to be 1 rep. Now, if you really don't have a PVC, a broom handle, a walking stick, anything like that, that's okay. Grab a towel and do the same thing. And I think it helps if you roll up that towel a little bit, but whatever you need to do to make it happen is totally fine. Then we're going to finish with 4 inchworms. So on that inchworm, start standing, reach for your toes, go all the way out as far as you can, and then walk those toes towards the hands. Turn around and come right back. And if you're doing this one right, it'll take a few seconds to get that 1 rep done. So that's your warm-up, 6 minutes. Just keep a nice, easy pace through this. The whole point is to get a little sweat going, get a little warm-up going, and just get that blood pumping. Then we're going to get into the strength today. And for the strength, we're going to alternate between 3 different exercises. You've got a ring dip, a bench press, and a sit-up. Now, each one of these, we'd like to see you do weighted. Even if you start out with just body weight and work into the weighted, that's totally fine. On the ring dip, if you've got a set of rings, great, go for it. If not, you can use a bench, a chair, 2 chairs together, whatever makes it the most efficient to get those reps down. And so I'll show you both ways here. And so if you're using a bench, you're going to have your hands outside your hips to make it more challenging. Put your legs straight out in front of you. Stay close to that bench. Get all the way down 90 degrees with those elbows, and then come all the way up and keep that motion going. If you need to bring those feet in to make it a little bit easier, that's okay. Same thing, all the way up and down. If you're using chairs, you can use 1 chair, and that'll be a more narrow grip here. Just go on the outside, and same thing, keep that motion going. Or put 2 chairs together, about elbow to fingertip distance, and do that same thing. Just make sure you're balancing well on those chairs so nothing tips forward. The weighted version of this, if you've got the rings and you've got a weight belt, a band, anything else, you can use that. Otherwise, you can use a plate to do the same thing and just put that plate in your lap. You can use a dumbbell, a kettlebell, whatever. Just watch the Family Jewels and get down and up. And that's just going to add a little bit of weight and resistance to your ring dips. Then we're going to get into a bench press. If you've got a bench, even a box that you can use so you can get into that bench press, going all the way down, that bar should pass right over your sternum, right below your nipple line, and full extension every single time. You can use a barbell, you can use dumbbells, you can use a couple of kettlebells, whatever you need to there. If you really don't have a bench at all, and a lot of us don't, then you can go from the ground. And I'll show you with a set of dumbbells here. The biggest thing is that as you get into this, you're starting with your elbows on the ground, pushing those dumbbells away, and as you come back down, nice and slow. Do not let those elbows bang into the ground, because that's going to be a lot of pressure on your wrists. If it helps to make it a little bit more like a barbell, where as you're going up, you turn and bring those dumbbells together, and then nice and slow on the way down. Great. If you're limited on weight and you're keeping a lighter weight for these, then just really focus on nice and slow on the way up, nice and slow and controlled on the way down. And that way you're going to have a little bit more resistance, and you're going to make up for the heavier weight that you don't necessarily have. The last one is going to be a weighted sit-up, and the whole point with this weighted sit-up is not to get momentum with that weight. It's to start with that plate right over your chest, and as you're coming up, you're bringing that weight straight up overhead and right back down again. And that way, you're actually getting the stimulus of that weight versus starting behind your head and throwing it forward. Because if you're just throwing that weight forward, it's going to act more as a counterbalance, and it's actually going to make it easier than starting over your chest and being real strict about how you're doing those sit-ups. If you've only got one dumbbell for the bench press, you can do 6 on one side and then 6 on the other, but however you need to do it to challenge yourself. How this is going to go, though, you're going to do your 10 dips, ring dips, bench dips, chair dips, whatever. Then you're going to go to your bench press and do 6 reps. Then you're going to go to your sit-ups and do 10 reps. About 20 to 30 seconds rest in between each one, and a minute or 2 rest in between each set. So one set is going to be the 10 ring dips, 6 bench press, and then 10 sit-ups. For the workout today, we've got a 20-minute AMRAP, and so this is going to be 4 alternating Turkish get-ups. Pick your load, but again, make it challenging. You only need 1 weight for this. Then we'll get into 4 Manmakers. If you've got 2 dumbbells or even 2 kettlebells, that's going to be better for this one. However, you can do it with 1, and I'll show you how that'll go. Then you're going to do 2 wall walks, and then you're going to finish with a 100-meter farmer's carry. So the full RX version of this is going to be 4 alternating Turkish get-ups. So you'll do 1 on the right and 1 on the left twice. And how this Turkish get-up is going to go is I'm going to have whatever object I've got in my hand, whichever hand I'm using to start, that's the same foot that knee is going to be bent, that heel is tucked up towards my butt, and that foot is going to be flat. I'm going to lay flat on my back. I'm going to have that object. I'm always going to start with it below my elbow so that as I lever it up, I'm not putting extra pressure on that shoulder. That left arm is out at my side at about a 45-degree angle. And as I punch up, I'm going to roll up onto that left side. I'm focusing on that object overhead. I'm creating some space with my hips and bringing that left leg under. Notice I'm still focusing on that object. Now I'm in my lunge position. I stand all the way up. That is the top, and now I got to get back down. So I'm going my left knee back in the ground, left hand back down on the ground, swing that leg through, right back down, and bring that elbow back to the ground. And then I switch sides, same thing. Now I've got it in my left hand, so now my left leg is going to be bent, right arm is going to be out, punch through, roll up to that right side, create space, bring that right knee through, focusing on that object, standing all the way up, still focusing on that object, right knee back on the ground, right hand, swing that leg through, and controlled all the way back down to the ground. So that is going to be 2 reps, 1 on the right, 1 on the left. So you'll do that a second time before moving on to the Manmakers. The Manmaker, if you look underneath, it shows the exact exercises. You're going to be doing a push-up, right row, left row, jumping those feet in towards the hands, squat clean, and then a press. So how this will go, your dumbbells are going to be on the ground right in front of you. Start with your hands on the dumbbells. Again, you're going to do a push-up, right row, left row, bring those feet in, squat clean, and press right overhead. And then right back down for that next rep. Now, if you don't have 2 dumbbells, you can do this with 1 at a time. And how this is going to go is you're going to do a push-up on the ground with your dumbbell right next to your hand. Do that push-up, right row, left row, bring your feet in, squat clean, thruster, and that will still count as 1 rep. Then you'll do the next one where you still do the row. I'll show it to you. The next one, you're still going to go down, do a push-up, left row to start this time, then right row, squat clean, thruster or press, and right back down. And that's 2 reps. I'll do that 2 more times. You can do the same thing with the kettlebell. If you really don't have any dumbbells or kettlebells, you can use a plate. And how this will go with the plate is, again, you're going to start in that push-up position, do that push-up all the way up and down, drive those feet towards it, do a row, then do that squat clean, and press. And so that's a good way to do it if you don't have any dumbbells. Then you've got a wall walk. If you've got a spot on the wall to be able to start flat and walk your way belly towards the wall, all the way straight up and down, touching that belly to the wall, and then walk all the way back out, go for it. If you really don't have a good space to do that, but you've got an object that's 8 to 12 inches off the ground, you can start with your feet on that object, walk your hands in, 3, 2, 1, and walk your hands all the way back out to straight. The higher the object, the more challenging that's going to be. If you really don't have an object to use, that's okay. Again, start from the ground and inchworm your hands back towards your feet. 3, 2, 1, and then all the way back out. Finally, we've got a farmer's carry. If you've got 2 dumbbells or kettlebells, you'll pick those up and you'll either measure out that 50 meters to go 50 meters out, 50 meters back, and hold both dumbbells just walking the entire time. If you don't have a distance marked off, or you're inside and you don't really have a distance you can get to, then you're going to go for a minute holding those dumbbells, and you can just do this walking around the living room, around the garage, whatever you need, and just do that for a full minute. If you only have 1 object to use, and yes, you can use a plate, and that plate is going to help you with your grip strength as well, then you can go 50 meters down with the right, and then 50 meters back with the left. or 30 seconds holding on to the right, just walking around, and then 30 seconds with the left walking around. So that is one round, and you're going to do as many rounds as possible in 20 minutes of those 4 exercises. 4 alternating Turkish get-ups, 2 on each side, 4 Manmakers. Make it as challenging as possible. If you've got 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, use them. Don't just default to the one because it's easier. Now is the time where you can really challenge yourself. 2 wall walks, and then that 100-meter farmer's carry, however you need to do it. So, great job, guys. Keep up the awesome work. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Send the link to the YouTube channel to friends and family so they can subscribe and get access to all these workouts. We're posting a body weight workout and a CrossFit workout Monday through Friday, and then CrossFit workouts on Saturday and Sunday too. So have fun, guys. Drink plenty of water. Stretch out. If you need anything, let us know, and we'll see you again soon.